Let's stop and think, my people. In the heart of Amaif, a quiet village nestled between rolling hills and red soil, lived a girl named Nneka. From childhood, Nneka's beauty was a spectacle, like a flower blooming in the midst of drought. Her skin was the color of smooth cocoa, her eyes sparkled like morning dew on fresh palm leaves, and her voice was as gentle as a lullaby sung under moonlight. But beauty, they say, doesn't feed a hungry stomach. Nneka was born into the household of Okoro and Adiz, a couple known not for wealth, but for their poverty. Okoro was a palm wine tapper whose calabashes barely filled, and Adiz hawked roasted maize that few ever bought. Their mud house sat at the edge of the village, beside the waste path. Chickens scratched its clay walls and the roof leaked whenever it rained. The villagers of Amaif had no mercy for the poor. Whenever Nneka passed by, especially during village gatherings or market days, women would whisper and scoff. Fine face, empty stomach, they would sneer. What use is beauty in rags? Even the children mocked her. See the fine girl with torn slippers. Poverty girl. But Nneka never retaliated. She walked with dignity, carrying her mother's tray of maize or helping her father carry tapped wine with a quiet strength. Deep inside her, she believed her story would not end in poverty. Nneka loved books. A kind old teacher who once lived in the village had given her a small bag of second-hand novels before he left for the city. In the evenings, after farm work and hawking, she would sit under the mango tree near their hut and read. She dreamed of a better life, of glass houses, of city lights, of people who didn't measure worth by wealth alone. She prayed fervently, not just for herself, but for her parents who had suffered so much. Her mother often wept quietly at night, worried that her daughter would be mocked forever or married off to an old widower just to survive. But God, as the elders say, never sleeps. One dry season, just after the New Yam festival, a strange car entered Amaif. It was a black SUV, the kind the villagers only saw in movies or at politicians' rallies. The vehicle stopped at the village square. Out stepped a tall man, dark-skinned, well-dressed in native attire with gold embroidery, and eyes that surveyed the village with interest. His name was Obinna Nwankwo. He had come from Enugu, a wealthy real estate developer and hotel owner. Rumor had it that he was searching for land to build a tourist resort. But while waiting for the elders to arrive at the square, his eyes wandered and landed on Nneka, who had come to sell maize. He stared at her longer than usual. Not lustfully, but curiously. "Who is that girl?" he asked one of the men. "That one. That's Nneka, daughter of Okoro the poor palm wine tapper," the man replied with a chuckle. "Fine face, poor home." Obinna nodded, but he said no more. He watched her return to her mother's spot and help her arrange maize on a tray. Over the next few days, Obinna kept coming to Amaif, supposedly to negotiate land, but everyone noticed he spent more time near the maize stall. Then one evening, under the mango tree where Nneka sat reading, Obinna approached her. "What book are you reading?" he asked. Nneka, startled, looked up. "Things Fall Apart, sir," she replied softly. "Ah, Chinua Achebe. That's my favorite." They talked about books, about dreams, about city life, and day after day, their conversations grew deeper. Nneka, though shy at first, soon found herself opening up to this stranger who treated her with respect, not mockery. After 3 weeks, Obinna did something no one expected. He went to Okoro's compound, knelt before the old man, and said, "Sir, I want to marry your daughter." A silence fell. Even Adiz dropped the broom in her hand. "My daughter?" Okoro asked in disbelief. "Yes, sir, Nneka. I have seen riches in my life. I've traveled, but I have never met a girl so wise, humble, and graceful." Okoro burst into tears. For the first time in years, his heart felt lifted. When the news broke, Amaif nearly exploded. The same Nneka they mocked. A city millionaire wanted to marry her. Jealousy burned like fire. Some claimed she used charm. Others said it was luck. But nothing could stop the wedding. Obinna sent tailors from the city, cooks from Lagos, decorators from Asaba. The village square transformed. For the first time, Amaif saw electric lights wrapped around palm trees. Guests arrived in convoys. The bride price paid to Okoro was enough to build a mansion. Adiz was gifted wrappers, gold earrings, and even a freezer, powered by a generator. Nneka's wedding dress sparkled like the stars, and when she walked into the village square, every mouth fell open. The same girls who mocked her now watched in awe, adjusting their wrappers in shame. After the wedding, Obinna took Nneka to Enugu, but he didn't leave her family behind. Within months, he built a 4-bedroom bungalow for Okoro and Adiz, complete with a borehole and solar lights. He opened a mini-mart for Adiz and gave Okoro a tricycle for transport. Life changed. Villagers who once sneered now lined up at the gate. Adiz, I just day past, greet you small. Okoro, I hear say you day fine driver for the keke. Nneka, my daughter. You know remember Auntie Nkechi again. Even the women who once called her fine face, empty stomach, now came with the daughters dressed well, pretending to seek advice. You know, my daughter Nkechi Sabi read book 2.0. Maybe she go follow you go Enugu. But Nneka never mocked them back. She greeted all with a smile. Sometimes, she even gave food or clothes to those who once ridiculed her. One Harmattan season, a famine swept through the region. Crops failed. Many families in Amaif struggled. Once proud villagers who mocked the poor now had to come to Nneka's mother's store to buy rice and oil, or ask for help. Okoro and Adiz, now respected elders, did not refuse anyone. They gave generously, but it was Nneka's presence that broke the pride of many. Whenever she returned from the city with her convoy, children gathered to watch her descend from the car. One day, at a women's meeting, Auntie Ijeoma, one of Nneka's fiercest critics, stood up. Let us thank God for Nneka. Indeed, the stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. There were murmurs of agreement. Nneka never forgot the years of pain, but she also never let them harden her heart. Once, her childhood friend Amaka, who had also mocked her in the past, came to her house crying. My husband lost his job. My baby is sick. I don't have food. Nneka embraced her, wiped her tears, and gave her supplies and money for hospital bills. Amaka wept on her knees. I mocked you. I was jealous, but you still helped me. Amaka, Nneka said gently, we all make mistakes. What matters is what we do next. Years passed. Nneka became not just a wife, but a woman of influence. She started a foundation that sponsored poor village girls to school. She built a library in Amaif, naming it Grace and Roots Center. And whenever she returned home, she would sit under the same mango tree, now grown taller, and watch the children run by children who now dreamt of better lives because of her story. The village that once mocked her now told her story to inspire the daughters. And in the quietness of her heart, Nneka always whispered a prayer, thank you, Lord. You lifted the humble and shamed the proud. You turned my pain into praise. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and share it with friends and family who love African tales as much as you do. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to Tales by Dansafia for more beautiful and powerful stories every week. Until next time, keep believing, keep growing, and keep the tales alive.